Y'all. Y'all. Okay, so New Year's Eve, I woke up from a dream, and it was so heavy on me. Okay, well let me backtrack. Okay, so y'all know for this last year I've been talking about breaking generational curses. How it's so important for us to break free of all the things that have been heavy on our lineage. And when I was working on healing my inner child and working to break off survival mode and the things I had picked up from trauma, the biggest thing I wanted to let go of was the anger and the rage of it. You know, that the family that came from me wouldn't feel loveless, abandoned, neglected, you know, that I was going to shift that in my family. So God, we talked about crying, okay? There ain't nothing wrong with crying, y'all, but I done cried so many tears, okay? So, on the 31st, God gave me a message about there is nothing I've been through that my family hasn't been through. Like, we know we're carrying generational curses, but the enemy has gotten really lazy. He's gotten very lazy because the things that have hit my bloodline has stopped my family before me from hearing and listening to God. Their heartbrokenness has disconnected them from hearing instruction and direction and moving forward in what they know God is telling them to do. And so when it came to me, enemy was like, the devil was like, I already know what done took them out. I done already know what done took the Whites, the Corpenings, the Turners, the y'all bear with me, Becks. I've already known what has taken them out. And I'm just gonna hit her with that. From being born sick to ancestral molestation, ancestral predators, ancestral hatred, from hateful relationships between mothers and daughters, from them not having mothers and fathers, death, feeling insufficient and loveless and abandoned and neglected, feeling unsure and not confident about themselves, getting into relationships and pouring out their all to get that back and never loving themselves. loving people that never loved them. Broken marriages. Rape. Poverty. Lack. Emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually. Losing their children. Those things have hit the men and women in my family for generations. Addiction. When I tell y'all I was terrified to smoke weed and drink alcohol, because what I had seen it do, well, not weed per se, I didn't really know that, even when that was going on, I didn't know that that's what was going on, but drugs. You know, alcohol and drugs hit my family. I was terrified to try it because I had seen the people that I knew was on it. I'm like, I don't never want to look like them. I don't never want to be out here like that. But by the time I had got to college, I was so just wanting to feel a part of something and lacking certainty in myself that I fell into it. And then was doing it on my own. You know, nobody had to be around for me to go to the liquor store. Nobody had to be around for me to get some weed and be rolling up. But all those things had hit my family. And it broke them. It broke something in them to the point that they no longer, even when they were praying, even when they were talking to God, they no longer believed it anymore. They no longer believed that things could change for them. That heartache had got on top of them so much that they were talking to God out of routine. They weren't building their relationship. They weren't making sure they could hear and that they were doing and being obedient for their prayers to get through. Like, what we don't understand is there are things that we have to uphold to get the things that God has for us. And the devil knows that more than anybody. Because he lost his connection to God. And right when we praying and asking God for stuff, he up there with the list of the things we doing. Like, hold up, God. You said that if they doing wrong and they know what they supposed to be doing, nah, they can't get nothing. He up there like, can't wait to tell. Like, he can't wait to tell because he don't want none of us to be close to God because he can't be. And as I'm walking into this year with joy, God knew when he created me, he had to put a little more stubbornness in me. My family is stubborn on all sides, okay? There's something that God put in me that just would not stop fighting to get out of what I seen was chaos. I couldn't give up. Even when I lost my baby, I was like, God, I can't get stuck here in this depression and sadness. Like, I can't get stuck here because I know what is meant for me, what you have been showing me is so much bigger than this. I will not get buried under depression and grief. Help me. My family stopped calling for help from God and believing God could change it. I refused. I refused. And the only reason I could keep breaking those things off of me is because I kept knowing God could change it. I mean, with my whole being, I'm like, if nobody else can change this, I know the one that created me can. I had no doubt, even in sadness and grief and confusion. I'm like, man can't do it. I've sought it. I've sought love. I've sought understanding. I've sought answers. Man can't do it. I fall on my knees regularly and surrender to God. I talk to him and tell him regularly, I want to stay in partnership with you. Anything that's blocking it. Anything that would take my hand out of yours, God, remove it from my life. I need you more than anything. There is nothing I would love more than you. I wake up every morning so grateful to God for giving me breath and inquisitive of what I'm supposed to do with my day. The devil gonna have to get a little more creative for me. And I'm at the point where I'm ready to challenge him. God has made me war ready. I know who I got backing me. And I know warfare is going to come stronger than it ever has before. But guess what else is coming? What God has planned. I can't cave. I can't give in. I can't step back from the fight no more. Stop stepping back from the fight. We didn't mind fighting in the world. We done fought our siblings. We done fought our friends. We done fought in relationships. We done fought the people we work with. We done fought random people with road rage. It's time for you to spiritually fight like you have never fought before. We done broke through what the devil was being lazy or throwing at us. He kept coming with old tricks. Did it hurt? Yes. Did it scar us? Yes. But I left the old me in 2024. He's not going to be able to remind me about a scar, a pain, a lack that I know I can't defeat. I've defeated it already. You got to come at me with something new. Something my bloodline has not yet seen. And I'm protecting it with everything I got Do you know how hard it was for me to shake that stuff loose off of me? Do you know how hard it was for me to leave people in my past that I had spent years with? Do you know how hard it was for me to forgive things that nobody asked for an apology for? Do you know how hard it was for me to sit in things in the person I had become, knowing I was better than that? I faced myself. The darkest part of myself. No longer will I feel shame, depression, sadness, grief, lovelessness, abandonment, neglect. I know who created me and who I belong to. Who I am and whose I am. Don't let nothing stop you now. Don't have come through all of this and give up. I know you feel it. You have knocked through everything that has held your bloodline back for generations. Lift up your head. This past year when I was in worship, God would literally have me doing this to myself. Lift up your head. Push your shoulders back. Walk like God is with you. Talk like God is with you. Move around like God is with you. Have confidence like God is with you. There is no room you enter that you do not belong in. Don't go back into the shell of yourself. You are meant to stand out. That's why you never fit in. God knows what I deserve. God knows what you deserve. I love